What's up, guys? Matt Davis, CLA here, back with another drill. Really get the juices flowing at practice, lots of energy, ground ball elements, transition, defense, just about everything that you could want to kind of start the practice off the right way. So, as usual, set up on the left-hand side, points of emphasis, and then we're going to walk through the drill together. First things first, you're going to start with 3 lines at the midfield line. Your coach is going to be waiting right here, probably about 10 yards beforehand, where he can distribute a pretty unbiased ground ball. You want to make it available for all 3 of these players to fight for it. The 111 stands for 1v1v1, which means the drill starts with a 1v1v1 ground ball. And then we're going to walk through that here in a second. Second thing would be make sure you have an outlet at restraining on both sides. That might be a player or a coach depending on numbers. I like to use players because we have something that we can work on. But if you're a little short-handed and you want to keep some guys free for subs, then go ahead and have that be a coach if you have that resource. Third thing would be 2 offensive players with their heels on the crease. We're going to put a cone at 7 yards and 7. Make sure you just walk it out. Probably not drawn to scale, but just make sure that these cones are at 7 and 7. And we want to enforce that being a position that these guys can rotate around the ball to as our action up top starts. On the right side, points of emphasis. Number one thing would be purpose of these outlets. After we throw out our ground ball, the number one thing should be getting your head up and looking for your nearest outlet, right? So if you divided this like down the half line, any ground ball 1 on this side, you would want to give it up to this outlet and immediately get in the habit of snapping your head up and looking to move the rock instead of carrying it through 4 or 5 people, and vice versa. If you want it over here, you want to go to the nearest outlet with the ball. Second thing would be defense crash. Whoever doesn't win the ground ball is going to become our defensive players. You'll find that I marked over here, jersey color doesn't matter. You just want to make sure that you're communicating the rules properly and knowing who's defense and who's not, right? Number 3, crash being get into the hole, by the way, that's our call for that. Get in, work out, get in an I formation. Outlets, you'll find that these guys will sometimes get lazy. They'll catch the outlet from the guy and they'll just throw a lazy pass back to him. Make sure you're enforcing that they're stepping into their throws. And the difference between a catchable ball and a non-catchable ball is the difference between a goal a lot of times in transition. So they should be putting a point of emphasis, excuse me, to not only catch it with their feet moving, but get rid of it with their feet moving as well. And then your offensive guys down low, moving them to a scoring position. I like to put the cone regardless of age group because a lot of times they may just stay right on the doorstep, and that's not how it always works. So make sure they're climbing to a position where they can catch, score, and feed as well. Okay, so for the drill, pretty simple. Going to start out a ground ball here for these 3 players. Again, make that an unbiased ground ball. Give the players a shot. Float where you think that you can give a ball. Maybe you throw it from behind, but they're looking back, or maybe they're on their stomachs. Whatever you need to do, but just make it so that it really is a one-on-one-on-one instead of favoring one line versus the other. What's going to happen is, let's say, for example, I gave these guys numbers, and we had 1, 2, and 3. Let's say that we rolled out the ground ball, and number 1 comes away with it. Okay, I'm actually going to draw him in green to coincide with the offensive players down here. So anyone who is in green is the offense throughout the drill. 1 came away with it. Well, since he wanted on that side of the field, he's got to give it up to the outlet, right? And then the outlet is going to find him back as he cuts. 2 and 3 lost the ground ball, so they're going to do what's called crashing and get into the middle and set up in our I formation. So this is all happening at the same time. 1 has won the ground ball, he's going to the outlet. As soon as 2 and 3 hear the word crash, they've got to get into the middle and set up in the I formation. Okay? So now we're looking something like this, where you've got number 2 and number 3 probably somewhere about here. Okay? So now, as 1 gets the ball back from the outlet, we're releasing our offensive players around the cone like this. And we're just playing a standard a standard 3v2. All right? Try to give them as many opportunities as possible to play it out, but maybe put some rules in there and say, hey, we're not going to let you make 6 passes. There's 2 defensemen. Good rule of thumb is you probably have as many passes as there are defensemen to score. So Younger guys, maybe give them 3 passes, but if you're in the middle school, high school, we should really be saying there's 2 defensemen, you have 2 passes before you should be getting a shot on cage, maybe a third. But don't let them just come down leisurely and just throw the ball around 6 or 7 times. This is up tempo, we need to get a lot of reps, okay? Now, rotation wise, here's probably the best part of the drill. After there's a shot, goal, turnover, whatever you guys, dictate for yourselves at practice, these offensive guys that were just in are going to outlet. The outlets are coming to the back of the line. Okay? Offense, whoever won the ground ball to begin with, comes out. Okay? And then defense is going to offense. So to summarize, winner of the ground ball comes out. After they play the 3v2, he comes out. Offense goes to outlet, outlet goes to the back of the line, defense goes to offense. You may end up with deep holes who are expected to fill this position. And I think that's the fun part of it. I don't like to have defenders that can't score. I don't like to have midfielders who can't play defense. So it makes them well-rounded players. It gets them reps as offense, ground ball, outlets, and defense as well, and really makes them well-rounded lacrosse players. That may not be the way that you do it, but that's certainly the way that I like to. So just remember your rotations. First couple times you might need to walk them through it. Hey, remember, if you won the ground ball, you come out. Defense goes to offense, offense goes to outlets, outlets come out. That's probably the simplest way to communicate the rotations for the drill. You can probably add a couple more players to make this a 4v3. Excuse me. And other than that, it's a great drill. Get a lot of reps in about 10 minutes. You should be shooting for in 10 minutes, about 30 to 35 reps. It's a very fast-paced drill. So let us know in the comments if you like this drill, if you want to see more stuff like this. If you have any twists on this kind of drill that you run, be successful, we want to hear about it. So that's our 1-11 3v2 drill, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.